Your phone will ring at 3:17 p.m. exactly. I said those words calmly across the divorce mediation table. My wife's boss laughed. Desperate bluff, he said. I looked at the clock, 3:11 p.m. Then I smiled, because I knew something he didn't. At 3:17, his entire world was about to collapse. My name is Daniel Carter. For 12 years, I thought I knew my wife. Her name was Lauren. We met at a coffee shop in Columbus, Ohio. When she accidentally spilled a latte on my laptop, she panicked. I laughed. 6 months later, we were engaged. 5 years after that, we bought a small house outside Cincinnati. We had everything people spend their whole lives chasing: a home, a comfortable life, and a 10-year-old daughter named Emma, who believed her parents were invincible. Then Lauren got promoted. Her new boss was Grant Whitmore. Grant was charming, wealthy, and the kind of man who remembered everyone's name. At first, I was happy for her. Then the late nights started. It's just work, Lauren would say. Then came the business dinners, the weekend conferences, the passwords on her phone, and finally, the emotional distance. One night, I asked her directly, "Is there someone else?" She stared at me for several seconds. Then she whispered, "I don't love you the way I used to." That sentence destroyed me more than any confession could have. 3 days later, Lauren filed for divorce. She wanted the house, half our savings, primary custody of Emma. And she wanted me to sign everything quickly. But there was one thing she didn't know. I had already discovered the truth. For months, Lauren had been secretly communicating with Grant. Not just professionally, romantically, and worse. Grant had been using her to move money through the company. I found the evidence buried inside an old shared cloud account. Invoices, bank transfers, private messages, millions of dollars, through shell companies. Lauren wasn't the mastermind. She was being used. But when I confronted her, she didn't believe me. She believed Grant. "He loves me," she said. I looked at her. "No, Lauren, he loves what you can give him." She slapped the table. "You're just trying to destroy my future because you're bitter." I didn't argue. Instead, I contacted an attorney and quietly began preparing for mediation. That brought us to the morning of the divorce hearing. Grant showed up with Lauren. He wasn't required to be there, but he wanted me to see him. He walked into the conf room wearing a navy suit and a confident smile. He leaned toward me. "You really should have taken the settlement." I looked at him. "You still have time to leave." He laughed. "Daniel, you're finished." I didn't respond, because underneath the table, my phone displayed one message: "Ready." I locked the screen. The mediator entered. Everyone sat down. Lauren avoided my eyes. Grant sat behind her like some kind of protector. The negotiations began: house, savings, custody. Then Grant leaned forward. "You're wasting everyone's time." I looked directly at him. "No." He raised an eyebrow. "Then what exactly are you waiting for?" I glanced at the wall clock. 3:04 p.m. "Your phone," he laughed. "My phone?" "Yes." I leaned back. "Your phone will ring at 3:17 p.m. exactly." Silence filled the room. Grant stared at me. Then he laughed louder. "That's your strategy?" "No." I smiled. "That's your warning." Lauren looked confused. "Daniel, what are you talking about?" I looked at her. "You'll find out." Grant folded his arms. "You've got nothing." "Maybe," he smirked. "Desperate bluff." I said nothing. 3:08. The mediator continued talking. Grant checked his phone. 3:10. He looked at me, still smiling. 3:12. Lauren finally whispered, "What did you do?" I answered quietly. "Nothing." She frowned. "Then why are you so calm?" "Because I've already done everything I needed to do." Her face changed. For the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. 3:14. Grant's confidence started disappearing. He checked his watch. 3:15. He looked at me. "Who did you call?" I smiled. "Wait 2 minutes." 3:16. Grant's fingers tightened around his phone. The room became painfully quiet. He looked at the clock, then at me. "You actually think this changes anything?" "No." I leaned forward. "I think the call changes everything." 3:17 p.m. His phone rang. Everyone froze. Grant stared at the screen. Unknown number. His smile disappeared. He answered. "Hello?" He listened. 1 second. 3:57. His face slowly drained of color. 10 seconds. 11. He pulled the phone away from his ear. His hand was shaking. Then he whispered, "Who? Who are you?" The caller said something. Grant stopped breathing. He hung up. Nobody spoke. The mediator finally asked, "Mr. Whitmore?" Grant didn't answer. Lauren stood up. "What happened?" Grant looked at her. And for the first time since I'd met him, he looked terrified. Then the conference room door opened. A woman in a gray federal jacket stepped inside. Behind her were 2 investigators. She held up an identification badge. "Grant Whitmore." He slowly nodded. "We need to speak with you." Grant looked at me. "How?" I interrupted him. "You should have asked yourself that before you stole from your own company." Lauren's mouth fell open. The investigator placed a folder on the table. Inside were copies of bank records, DAMs, wire transfers, and photographs. Grant had been moving company money through accounts connected to 3 shell corporations. But there was something else. Lauren's signature appeared on several documents. She started crying. I didn't know. I looked at her. I know. She turned toward me. Daniel. I know you didn't know, Grant suddenly shouted. You set me up. I stood no. I looked him directly in the eyes. You set yourself up. The investigators escorted him out, but the biggest shock was still waiting. One investigator stopped beside Lauren. Mrs. Carter, you're not under arrest, she began sobbing. But you need to cooperate with our investigation. She nodded, then she looked at me. Why did you do this? I stared at the woman I had once planned to grow old with. Because I loved you. Her tears fell. And because Emma deserved better than the life you were about to give her. The divorce wasn't finished that day. It took months. Lauren lost the fantasy she had built around Grant. She cooperated with the investigation. Eventually, she admitted everything she knew. Grant was charged with fraud and embezzlement. The company survived. And Lauren? She moved into a small apartment. She started therapy. She got a job with another company. But she never stopped asking me for forgiveness. One evening, months later, she came to my house to pick up Emma. Before leaving, she stood on the porch. I destroyed everything, she whispered. I shook my head. No, she looked at me. I destroyed us. I took a breath. You made choices that destroyed our marriage. She lowered her eyes. But you don't have to destroy yourself forever because of them. She began crying. Do you ever think about what would have happened if you hadn't found out? I looked through the window. Emma was laughing at something on television. Yes. What do you think? I smiled sadly. I think I would have spent the rest of my life wondering why you stopped loving me. She nodded. And now? Now I know the truth. She wiped her tears. Are you happy? I looked at my daughter, then at the quiet house. Yes, it wasn't the same happiness I had once imagined. It was something stronger. Peace. A year later, Emma asked me why I had never remarried. I smiled. Sometimes, before you build something new, you have to learn how to live peacefully with what survived. She thought about that, then hugged me. And I realized something. The call at 3:17 wasn't really about destroying Grant. It wasn't even about winning the divorce. It was about finally ending the lie. Because sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't watching someone lose everything, it's walking away with your integrity intact, and knowing the person who betrayed you can never take that from you. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below.